Welcome back to the baseline. And today, guys, we are going to recap games 1 and game 2 of the AL Division Series and game 1 of the NL Division Series. And let's start with the Yankees and the Blue Jays. And man, oh man, are the Blue Jays rocking the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees pitching as a whole has allowed 23 runs in 2 ball games. This is insane. Just how dominant the Blue Jays have been as of late. Kevin Gausman, the rookie last night, actually got taken out after 5 no-hit innings. I don't know why you would take him out. Yasevich is his name, who just dominated the New York Yankees. And then once he came out, the bullpen started to come. The one thing I didn't like was that, I know at the time it was, it was like what was it? It was like 13-2. So yeah, you really didn't want to use your best reliever, but he ended up scoring 5 runs in the 7th, and then lights out. The bullpen was in the 8th and the 9th. Max Fried, after being so good in game 1 of the wild card, goes 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs because he came out with 2 runners on, and he only had 1 strikeout. Will Warren, also had, 4 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 6 earned runs. Weaver, who, if you actually look, his ERA right now in the playoffs is infinity. Just because he really hasn't been that good. I didn't even know in game 1 he wasn't that good, but it looks like in game 2 he relaxed. It was 0.1 of an inning. Yeah, this is tough because now you have Carlos Rodon in game 3. The Blue Jays have Shane Bieber, who in the last couple starts he has been phenomenal. He's given up runs here and there, but he kind of settles in and gets his rhythm going after giving up a couple of runs. I know he did that with like Miami in his last couple of starts, but he's been really good his last couple of starts. The one thing that scares me is Vladimir Guerrero versus Carlos Rodon, because his numbers, if I can get them here, so he is 10 for 17 with a home run and 5 RBIs against Carlos Rodon. 10 for 17. In 21 play appearances. He walked 4 times. That, to me, scares me because Vlad has been dominating so far. And everyone always says, hey, the day off, it really hurts people, and, because it's happened the last couple of times. For Vlad, it hasn't. And in game one, it was his first home run in over a month. He hit another home run. In 9 play appearances, he's batting .667, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, OPS 1.933. The Yankees are really going to have to step up their game. I don't know why they're not doing well. I mean, you had bases loaded. Game one, no one out. They scored 1 run. I honestly think maybe the series could have been tied. But now it's just very, very hard right now with this Yankee team. They have to get going. Judge has to get going. So does Stanton. I don't know. I mean, Stanton's hitting the ball, but they're on the ground. They're base hits. Same thing with Judge. I mean, you're going to have to get going tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. And Carlos Rodon cannot have what he had the last time he pitched with the against the Red Sox. Let's see, what was that? I gotta get the numbers here. I mean, yes, he went 6 innings, gave 4 hits, 3 runs with 6 strikeouts. But you're gonna have to try to give up no runs tomorrow. It's gonna be very, very tough for the New York Yankees. Very tough, and that bullpen is not doing well either. They're just not. I don't know what's going on with them, but Weaver's just awful. Me personally, I want to use him again. Try to go with your best relievers. It's the playoffs. You gotta win. And Shane Bieber, I think it's going to be a tough out. It's going to be a very, very tough matchup. Last 3 starts, he's given up 5 runs total. And he's gone 5 innings in 6 innings those last 3 starts. So he's going to be a tough out. So we have to see how that does. Mariners and Tigers. This series has been fun to watch. Game 1, they went 11 innings after a back and forth matchup. Let's see. Seattle scored 1 in the 4th with a home run for Julio Rodriguez. Then Detroit scored 2, followed by another run from Julio Rodriguez in the 6th, and it was just completely shut out until the 11th, where the Detroit got a base hit. Zach McKinstry got a single, scored in a run. They ended up winning. So, I mean, that was very interesting. And then yesterday, Castillo pitched phenomenal. They had Julio Polanco hit not 1 but 2 home runs off Terrence Skubal out of all people. They scored 2 in the 8th, Detroit, and then in the 9th again, or the bottom of the 8th, sorry, they had Julio Rodriguez double to score Cal Riley, and now they go on to tomorrow tied 1-1. Doing the series was going to be exciting. Did not think it was going to be this exciting. I actually thought that maybe Seattle would have more of an advantage over Detroit just because Detroit was struggling. I mean, they did a great job against Cleveland. And now, like I said, going into Detroit for 2 games. Maybe Friday we'll see a 5th game going back to Seattle. Actually, last night was also the first win, a playoff win for Seattle, and over 20 something years. So that's pretty memorable. The only thing that I think needs to happen for tomorrow is Jack Flaherty needs to have what he did against the Cleveland Guardians, which was just dominate. Just dominate the lineup. Treat it off like a elimination game. He went 4.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, only gave up 1 earned run and 4 strikeouts. I think maybe push Jack Flaherty to 5. Get that bullpen going, because AJ Hinch is a terrific manager. He's going to push the right buttons. He's going to, read the scenario, read the situation, and he's going to make sure his team is going to continue to be in this. And that's what he did. Over for Dan Wilson, great manager. Everyone is hitting the ball well in Seattle. They're making smart plays. Yesterday, Crawford had a bunt and he got on. They play small ball, and they're going to continue to do that. That's how they're going to win. They don't care for the home run. If they hit one, hey, cool. But they're also going to go base by base. They're going to work the count. That's what they've been doing the first 2 games. They did it to Schoolboy, of all people, who's on the verge of winning his 2nd Cy Young Award. It's just crazy of how great this team is. I think they're probably one of the dominant teams in the AL. I would say 2nd behind how Toronto's been playing. They got Gilbert tomorrow. We'll see how they rack up. I could probably actually see them hitting Flaherty really well. And then also Game 4, Mize. I think they could beat up here and there. It's just, that's how they play the ball. And that's what they do. So, that's going to be a fun. I'm actually really excited for that. That's going to be the 4 o'clock game, the first game. I'm definitely circling, because this series it's literally been on the edge of your seat. It really has. Alright, let's talk about game 1s, both for the NL. Very bad idea to start Matthew Boyd on 3 days rest. I know he wanted the game ball. He said that he's ready to go. Milwaukee scored 6 in the first inning. He gave up 2, but he is there for the 6th runs allowed. They also did 3, and then they were shut out 3 in the 2nd, and they were lights out. So that kind of scares me. Also, Jackson Chourio for Milwaukee is the first player ever to have 3 base hits in 2 innings. So that's going to be very interesting to see what they do that could continue tonight here in Game 2 against Iminaga. The Brewers are going with an opener, so I'm thinking maybe they got Ashby out. Maybe an opener for Ashby, maybe for the first inning, and then maybe have McKinstry pitch the rest. I don't know what the plan is for that. But, yeah, Milwaukee, if they can have what they had in Game 1, they're going to be scary. But like I said, you scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings, and then nothing the rest of the game. That's where I think the Cubs had to take advantage. Yes, they had 3 runs. I believe 2 or all 3 were home runs. Yeah, all 3 were home runs. They got established with that. They got now not rely on the home runs, just get base by base. With Imananga, I know he's been struggling, but Horton is hurt. He's not going to pitch this whole series. Maybe if they advance. But Milwaukee's a great team. They have everything on hold. It was surprising. It really was that you're watching the game. It's the first game. You're excited. And in a blink of an eye, they're up. At the time, it was 9-1. That, I think, is a dominant team. Do I think they're better than the Dodgers? Not really, because the Dodgers have, well, as of right now, they only play the Reds and Philly. But we'll get to that in a minute. But Milwaukee, I still think takes this series. I don't see it. I actually think this might be one of the sweeps if Chicago keeps doing what they're doing. If they don't show love or anything, or any fight, I could really see this only going 3 games. Maybe 4. Yeah, it's going to be a problem with the Cubs. I like how they faced the Padres and how they got things going. This is a team you faced 18 times in the regular season. It shouldn't have been that bad in Game 1. Game 1 versus the Phillies and the Dodgers. That game was fun. I was rooting for chaos. I knew it was going to be chaotic, and I got it. First off, Ohtani got lit up, gave up a triple to JT Realmuto that scored in 2. Really didn't like the effort there from Teoscar Hernandez. I don't know, really not good defensively. Just kind of like nonchalant and let the center fielder got it. I think if he got it, it would have been a double, and the game would have been a different story. But he did that, and then Harrison Bader got out with a sacrifice fly to score Realmuto. And then you had the 6th where Kike Hernandez doubled, became 3-2. And then Teoscar Hernandez redeemed himself and had a 3-run home run and made the Phillies win 5-3. And I think that's where the Phillies kind of hurt themselves. Because you brought in Strom. He had to face 3 batters. He had to. You couldn't do the lefty-lefty matchup. And he did. Then he had to face Teoscar Hernandez no matter what. Who ends up hitting the home run, giving the Dodgers the lead. That was in the 7th. And we'll see what they do here in Game 2. I think it's going to be a great pitching matchup. It starts in a couple minutes, but they do have Lazario is pitching. Blake Snell's got a pitch after he had a great outing in Game 1 versus the Reds. I think he might continue it. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts. I don't know if the strikeouts will be up there because this Phillies team really doesn't strike out as much. But it'll be interesting to handle Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper. How will he handle those guys? And how would they handle that lineup? Knowing they got to Ohtani, who was a great pitcher, and I didn't even allow runs in the last couple of starts. But I think tonight was going to be really fun to watch, a fun matchup. So we'll see how that goes for them. I think this game, this series, I think goes 5. Both teams are just too much. I still gotta say Philadelphia because Glasnow is set to start Game 4, even though coming out of the bullpen in Game 1. You're not gonna put in Snell in the bullpen. Maybe Game 5. Ohtani is supposed to start Game 5. He's not going to the bullpen. Kershaw maybe, but Kershaw really doesn't have a good record in the postseason. And I don't trust Sasaki with pitching more than 2 innings. I mean, he's been the closer, and that's what you want. I actually think if they do advance, Scott's off the roster. I know that's crazy to say since they signed him to a 4-year deal, but I think he's off the roster. And Sasaki has now taken over for the closer's role. I like Sasaki in the closer's role. I think he's really good. It's just, can you trust everyone else now? Because you can't keep putting a starting pitcher in the bullpen every day. Eventually, teams are going to, remember their pitches and they're going to hit these guys. It's like starting pitching. You see a guy a couple times, you're going to hit him. Alright, so that's it for my ALDS 2 games preview. The same thing with Game 1 of the Phillies and the Dodgers. Once series starts to end, we're probably going to do more, just because I didn't want to do one giant video, so we'll do like halfway here. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. What your thoughts on the first 2 games for the AL and the AL series and Game 1 on the NL series. What do you think is going to happen the rest of the way? Are the Yankees going to bounce back? Does Detroit now have a shot? And the Phillies and Dodgers, and same thing with Milwaukee and the Cubs. But for that, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you all in the next one.